What's up, everyone? We are finally doing it. We are going to be the bad guys, and we are going to play the dreaded aggroslide deck. Um, this deck has basically existed in Penny Dreadful for like 4 consecutive seasons. It is the de facto villain archetype that only the spikiest of spikes play. Um, all joking aside, there's actually a lot of play to this deck, I think, because, well, I don't know for sure, but I assume so, because I feel like when I play against it, depending on who is playing it, without saying any names, I tend to have a much better record against certain people than others, and some of that is down to repetition in Magic in general. It doesn't archetypes aside. If you practice a lot with an archetype, you're going to get better with it, and you're going to know the ins and outs. So, what are the strengths of the aggro slide deck? Well, the real payoff cards are Lightning Rift and Zenith Flare. Lightning Rift, perpetual, not a modern legal card, but perpetual legal in Penny Dreadful, thanks to the Vintage Masters printing. So it basically never really rotates out. And what this deck does very well is it lets you play a controlling game with Lightning Rift, where if your opponent's playing any sort of X2s, you get to shoot all of them down. Now you're saying, well, okay, but doesn't this deck have some disparate game plans? Like, what happens if you don't draw Lightning Rift? Well, if you'll notice, every card in this deck basically cycles for 1 mana. So you're always going to find the card that your opponent can't beat, right? So if your opponent doesn't care about Lightning Rift, or they have a way to take an enchantment off the table, they will eventually die to a Zenith Flare. This deck has a lot of inevitability. If your opponent has Zenith Flare covered with counter spells, or they have your graveyard covered, you can pressure them with a Flourishing Fox, or you can go wide with a Valiant Rescuer. And if either of those threats aren't good, you can just cycle them. So this deck can always and very consistently find the one threat that your opponent can't really deal with. It has a pretty consistent turn 5-ish Goldfish. It's not intrinsically the fastest deck in the format, although if you have a couple Foxes on the play, you can sometimes cheese them. Yeah, so this deck basically enabled by the fact that that Ikoria introduced all these 1-mana generic cyclers that are also actual Magic cards. Like, even Draenus Stinger is a pretty powerful card that provides some inevitability if your opponent doesn't take it off the table. So, yeah, this is a very deceptively powerful deck. Now, I think it's pretty straightforward. Other than that, we have a bunch of artifact hate in the sideboard. I threw in a couple Pyroclasms. I don't know if that's good or not. Obviously, it kills your own stuff sometimes. But Red Deck Wins is one of the deck's more competitive matchups. You can lose to Red Deck Wins if they go wide early pretty quickly. Yeah, Deafening Silence is just generic combo hate. Sometimes linear combo decks are this deck's biggest weakness. The list that's been going around had a couple Mana Tithes in it. I actually don't think Mana Tithe is... I don't think it's bad in this deck, actually, because the deck sort of incentivizes you to keep cycling, or to cycle on your opponent's turn a lot of the time, so you're sort of intrinsically holding up the Mana Tithe without being suspicious a lot of the time. But, I don't know, I think it kind of detracts from the main game plan. I added these Achroma's Blessings. They cycle for white, which can be problematic sometimes compared to colorless, but... we'll see how it goes. We'll keep track during the league how often it comes up that we can't cycle because this was a white instead of... The other alternative would be to play the Vantasaur or more Footfall Craters. I've only got a couple Footfall Craters in here. I guess I don't even own any Vantasaurs. Look at that. Oops. Imposing Vantasaur. Yeah, that's the... You can put those in that slot. If you want to cast a 3/6 for 6. Yeah. So basically, let's hop into the league and see how it goes. What's up, everybody? Welcome to round 1. Playing against Pobuddy's Nerfect. Funny name. It's true, Pobuddy's Nerfect. Alright, so this is a pretty good hand. We have double Fox on the play, and I think that's what we're gonna hope kind of that double fox lines up well against whatever our opponent's doing. It lines up well against a lot of the formats, so it wouldn't be surprising if it did. If it doesn't, we can pivot to the lightning rift plan and start shooting things. Birds of Paradise. You could triple fox, eh? Hitting us with all the nuts right off the bat here. Fortunately, we're kind of tap landed here, so we're going to be a little slow out of the gates. Hopefully that's fine. Fiend Hunter, my fox. Sure. Haven't seen too many of this style of deck. This could be like a Seance deck. People play Seance in the league sometimes. So I'm gonna play this tapped and play out another fox. We could start cycling foxes. It's not the craziest thing ever, but alright, opponent has 4 mana. Give me what we got. So yeah, this is likely a Seance deck. They just mill over. Alright, so now they can put squirrels into play if they want to with the Vesper Lark, which is pretty powerful. They probably... Alright, they're gonna get the Vesper Lark. Probably get one of these Deep Forest Hermits into play. Yep. They're sort of squirrel hermit tribal, so... we can potentially start lightning rifting down what they're doing over here. So a couple options. We could try to cycle into an untapped land. I do kind of want to deploy the lightning rift, but I guess there's not really a point in deploying it. So let's start by cycling Footfall Crater. If we hit an untapped land, we can also go for Blood the Hermit. Footfall Crater. Alright, we'll cycle that one too. If we don't hit a land, we will play a tap land here. The 4th fox, perfect. We could play Valiant Rescuer and start making tokens to block. It's another option. If they just naturally have another Hermit in hand, we could be in some pain here. Yeah. Man. I don't know. I don't think I'm going to trade. I think we're just dead though. Karma's Blessing, huh? Well, the good news is Vantasaur wouldn't save us in this spot either. I think we don't really have outs. They have too many squirrels, and we can't kill them all. Like, even if we kill both the hermits, they still have way lethal power, I think. All right. On to game 2. We probably want the Tormod's Crypts and the Pyroclasms in this matchup. This will cut some Footfall Creators, some Akroma's Blessings. Akroma's Blessing kind of seems not the worst, actually. Yeah, we'll get rid of those. Try it like that. You could bring in like a couple Shredded Sails as a hedge, in case they have their own graveyard hit or something. Alright, I'll keep this. I think we'll lean on Mountain and just cycle Forgotten Cave. Alright, we could just bolt the bird with our Pyroclasm here, but I think the Pyroclasm has a lot of value in this matchup, especially when backed up by a Tormod's Crypt. So the question is, do I play Secluded Step? I'm not really that interested in the Stinger here. Rift is good. I think I'm going to play one of these Secluded Steps. I'm going to take this opportunity to play one of these Secluded Steps. Visionary, sure. So if they have Harmonic Sliver, I don't want to like run out the Rift and get no value. I'm going to start by cycling Go for Blood. Let's cycle Secluded Step. There's Zenith Flare, huh? I guess if they have Harmonic Sliver, they would kill the Tormod's Crypt, probably. I mean, maybe. So it's not really that clear that this is correct, but the problem is now we don't have any more cyclers, but if we just draw one cycler, it's fine. Alright, second Rift. Now I kind of want to play out both my Rifts, I think. And if we draw a cycler, we just kind of go off. Alright, hopefully they play one of their Squirrel Dooders here, and then we get to Pyroclasm and back to the Stone Age. Sure. Well, I guess we're doing them a favor by letting them get out of their Echo cost here. We could just like wait for them to deploy more stuff to the board. Kind of like that, because we're not taking that much damage yet. Like make them sort of time walk them by making them pay the Echo. Let's see what they do it. They might not even pay it. Like maybe they'll want to play more stuff. Sure. Ah. That's true. That's a thing they can do. So we do take more damage this way, but we do also get more value out of the pyroclasm. So I think this is actually fine for us. And also we can gain life back with the, because now the pyroclasm also eats the ephemerate effectively because they won't have a target for it when they untap. And we're also safe from Vesper Lark because we have Tormod script. We do just need to kind of draw cards that cycle for the rest of the game, but shouldn't be a problem. That is our deck. Alright, Township. What have they got here? They're just going to play the Vesper Lark. Makes sense. Double Lark? Fiend Hunter. Oh, they're going to put the Vesper Lark under the Fiend Hunter, maybe? It's kind of cool. I guess we have to blow the Tormod script here. I think we do have to do it. But that means they get access to the Vesper Lark later if we ever kill the Fiend Hunter. Perfect. How many cycling cards do we have in our yard? Just 5. Okay. We could just start 5ing them and then hoping we draw cyclers. I kind of like that plan. So every cycler now represents 6 damage, so 5 plus 5. We can also Zenith Flare some obnoxious creature here, potentially. Alright. That is pretty good because of Township. Yep. So we are kind of under our clock here. I think I am just going to fire the flare upstairs still. We could take out the Fiend Hunter, but I guess we take a damage off our Battlefield Forge here. Not the best. Yikes. And a Satyr. Yeah, it's not looking too hot here. Should we, question is, I think I still want to flare them here. Well, I could save it. Nah, I think if I draw a cycler, I want all my access to as much mana as I can possibly have. So I feel like whenever I play against this deck, they just never brick. And when I'm playing it now, I feel like I'm just bricking off cyclers. Alright, I think we have to kill the deranged hermit. I don't know that for a fact, but I'm not here to do math. I guess if they have Township, we might just be dead, actually. I didn't think about that. Let's see, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 16, so if we kill 2 squirrels, we live at 2. I guess we can kill a visionary and a squirrel. Yeah, that was not the cleanest line, but I think it keeps us alive. I'm not going to play that because it represents lethal next turn, unless they have a way to gain life. 2, 4, 6, 8, 11. Alright, this is kind of cycling working how I remember it working, or how it works when I play against it, where like you do a bunch of stuff and then they just burn you out because nothing you did was relevant or mattered in time. Alright, we do need them not to gain a life here though. Shouldn't say they didn't. I guess it didn't matter. Because we drew another cycler, so. Alright, game 3 on the draw this time. Our cypher cards seem to work quite well there. Both the Tormod's Crypt and the Pyroclasm were pretty important. Didn't see a need for shredded sails, so I don't think I'm going to bring it in. Alright, we have the wombo combo of Crypt and Pyroclasm again. Sand's not very good otherwise, but it's like average because our whole deck is full of bad cards that cycle for 1, so we don't have a Fox or a... Alright, so now what? I kind of want to pull... I mean, the problem with playing out the Draenus Stinger as our payoff here is that it's going to get Pyroclasm away, but maybe that's fine. I'm just going to play the Plains and plan on cycling the Draenith Healer. I won't run out the Crypt quite yet. They can't really do anything on turn 2. I'll play it out next turn, though. I don't think there's anything they would use to kill it, but just in case. I'll cycle the Healer. Right, there's a Lightning Rift. That's pretty good. Alright, I'm going to play out Tormod's Crypt. Play out a Lightning Rift. They may like disenchant this or whatever, but it's fine. Alright, no disenchants. Should I play the Stinger is the question. I don't think so. Well, I think I'm going to play Secluded Step and just pass. I could cycle it, but I could plan on cycling it because I did find a land drop. But we have a lot of cycling cards in our hand still. They're doing nothing, which is weird. Maybe they just have a bunch of Hermits in hand. We'll cycle a Go for Blood. The upside of playing out the Stinger is it gives us something to go for blood if we wanted it, but second Pyroclasm, not exactly what I wanted, but it's also okay. So now I got a little punished for playing the Secluded Step last turn. Maybe a superior aggroslide mind would have seen that coming and not played out the Secluded Step. Alright, because we have these Pyroclasms, I'm not really worried about just spewing here. I'm just going upstairs. I mean, we'll obviously also draw more cycling cards, but okay, now should I play out my Draenus Stinger? It will actually kind of increase the clock, so now I'm kind of down to play it. I'm going to hold this Spark Spray also, because they may have like some kind of creature that I want to Spark Spray. They found a 5th land, so if they still don't have a play, that would be really weird. Like, they gotta have some Squirrel Lord or something. Yeah. I'm gonna make them pay the Echo and hold up Spark Spray for this, probably. Cycle Secluded Step. We will Lightning Rift. I'm gonna go upstairs. Rescuer. That one's a little bit more clunkier. We could play it out though. Let's see what we draw here. Another Valiant Rescuer. Now I think I will play it. And just pass. Let them pay the Echo and then Spark Spray the Midrange tournament. Could just like fire off a Pyroclasm here, but let's see if they pay it. They're gonna Ephemerate it. Alright. I guess the downside of this is that if they have a second Ephemerate, I'm in a little bit of trouble here. Because I don't have a 1-mana Cycler. Alright, they do have a second Ephemerate, so now I've got to spew my Pyroclasm, unfortunately. So I probably should have thought of that. That's fine though. Yep. You got a Satyr. And a land. Alright, we're just going to trade off for squirrels here, I guess, because we're losing our board to the Pyroclasm anyway. I think maybe I'll hold the second Rescuer and not cycle anything here, because it's my last Cycler and I want to get the maximum value. I could also play it if I draw another Cycler. It's not the craziest thing ever. Alright, we'll Pyroclasm the board here. And I'll play this guy and pass. We got another one. Yep. We have another Ephemerate too. Fox. Alright, we'll cycle Fox. Let me go ahead and Lightning Rift this guy. Alright, they don't have an Ephemerate apparently. Get a 1/1. We could play out the other Rescuer, but given that I have a Pyroclasm in hand, I don't really want to do that. I guess the Gavany Township is kind of problematic potentially. Depending on what they... Yeah, I forgot about that again. Seance. Yeah, that's not good for me. Alright, well... We'll cycle this. Shoot you. Block with 1/1s. Alright, we'll I guess we'll break the Seance here. I guess it's kind of like I lose. I'm not sure what the most value play here is, but I think it's fine to do this and then get in for 3 with the Rescuer. Like we could just rift them for a bunch, but this is 1 less damage, but it takes out the squirrels in the process, which is like kind of reasonable, I think. because they do it because Gavany Township is kind of scary. Alright, if they have some way to fill up their graveyard with something here. Okay, there's another Seance that does nothing. Yeah, this deck is interesting. It always does really well in the leagues, but I suspect it's because people don't know how to play against it. Like, if you nuke their graveyard, their deck doesn't really do much. I guess the combination specifically of Sweeper plus Graveyard Hate is really what wrecks them, but I don't know. It seems like there's a lot of moving parts. Like, it is kind of synergistic. Like, it's kind of cool. The combo of like the Squirrel Lords plus the Wayfinder effects plus the Vesper Larks, and then I guess you have Ephemerate this season too. Like, it's doing something powerful, but I don't know why it always has such a high win rate in leagues and never really shows up anywhere else. Anyway, I'll see you guys for round 2. Welcome to round 2, everyone. We're playing against Grib Ranger. Sand doesn't really have a payoff. It has lands. I wonder if you're supposed to keep hands like this. I'm not sure. I'll try mulliganing. Alright, well this has at least a Lightning Rift. 2 tap lands, but I don't know if I should bottom the Flare because I don't think this deck has any way to shuffle, so there's guaranteed a Flare on the bottom, but we'll go with that. Alright, we'll play Secluded Step tapped and pass the turn. Double tap land starter on the draw. We could just die. Do whatever they're up to. Alright, well, if we get to resolve a Lightning Rift, we no longer need to cast spells. So that is good news. We can also cast a bait spell into the Flare and kill them that way. Like, we don't need to really resolve spells. That's really it. If they have 3 1-mana spells and a free spell, they can, alright. So now they just need a free spell, and they can flip the Erayo. Yep. Alright, we could cast a bait spell into... Alright, I'm gonna cycle Dranith Healer. Play a land. Cycle Secluded Step. Okay, next turn I think we're gonna cast Flourishing Fox into the Erayo and then play a Lightning Rift probably. Opponent gets in for 2. Whatever I'd rather have, I guess. Alright, we'll cast the Flourishing Fox, excuse me, into the Erayo. Then we will play a Lightning Rift and pass the turn. Now we get to start
for a Skyfisher. Wow, we've got quite a bit of power over there. Holy moly. Wait. This works with Fairy Imposter. That's pretty sick. Alright, we're gonna cycle that. Shoot down Baron. Try to hit an untapped land here. Bingo. Alright. Next we'll probably kill the Glinthawk. Okay, that one's fine. I guess they're probably going to pick up Astrolabe here. This elephant is going to be problematic. May have to like play a spell into the... I don't know what they tapped. I know they tapped the Glinthawk, so I guess we'll get rid of that one. Okay. Double Spark Spray, huh? I want to hold on to one of these Spark Sprays as like a spell to cast into the Flare. We could do... A lot of stuff flies is a problem. We could play a Spark Spray, play Rescuers. Then we get a 1/1 for our troubles. We get to block the elephant for a turn. It's probably not the worst idea. Alternatively, we can cycle a Spark Spray. Yeah, I think it's probably better to cycle, but I don't know for sure. What am I killing though? Probably... I guess I should take out the flyers. Maybe I'm supposed to take out the 3/3 flyer while I know I can. Trying to stinger. This is awkward. I guess I'll guarantee kill the 2/2. See. Am I dead? Oh, I'm actually just dead, right? I guess I should have... Yeah, I could have played that land, but I don't think that would have mattered. I guess it would have mattered if I had killed the 4/4, then I would be at 2. So I needed to shoot the 4/4, but I'm still in a pretty bad spot, regardless. I guess hide and seek. Hide can put away the erayo essence if they flip it. That was a pretty, I don't know, bad draw, I guess, because we were on the draw and we had double tap land and we mulliganed. I don't know if this is worth it. Like, it does some things, I guess. Same with Shredded Sails. Shredded Sails doesn't even deal with the erayo, but it deals with other miscellaneous artifacts. Okay, I kind of tempted to just run it back. I guess Pyroclasm could be a thing too. They have a lot of X2s. Alright, we'll try it. I'm gonna keep this hand. Do I even bother cycling the Footfall Crater here? Probably do. I could not run out the Lightning Rift, but I think I will. Sure. Their deck is interesting. It's like an Ephemerate deck, except it doesn't have Ephemerate. I'm not gonna cycle yet. Well, I guess I have 2 cyclers, so it's fine to cycle one thing. Or just the Rift. Now I'm gonna cycle. Double Flare, huh? Cast the Fox, just to have a threat on board. Maybe I should cycle one of these in case I draw some, like another Lightning Rift. Karma's Blessing. That could be useful. I'll probably cycle it though. I could just have a Baron or something. Okay. No Erayo makes this whole sequence quite a bit less threatening. Spark Spray. I think I'm gonna. Yeah, I guess I won't cast it because all their things are quite big now. I could flare the Elephant. It's honestly. I'm not going to though. Let's attack first. Pyroclasm. Doesn't really. They're like almost dead. I guess I should have cycled Spark Spray too to hit a land, but I was thinking like I can use Pyroclasm plus Spark Spray to kill a thing, but alright, if they let this Fox through, they are just dead though. Dispatches the Fox. Sure. I think I am gonna cycle, I guess. See, it's 9 life. Yeah, I think it's fine. Fox. Land. So this cycle is free-ish. See how much How much damage can they deal me? 4, 7, 10, 11. I can go up to 15, 16 if I cycle the fox. They could have a miscast. Okay, now we can do it through an erayo because we have another fox. Sure. I wonder if they have counterspells in their deck. It'd be kind of weird if they did. It doesn't really seem like a type of deck that would have counterspells, but they might. Opponent says, I really hate that card. I know. um, let's see. I want hide and seek. I want shredded sails. I guess killing the fact that this deals damage to flyers is kind of useful. So we'll bring it in. I want to keep my critical mass of 1 mana cyclers. So we'll cut a couple of Valiant Rescuers. Even though I think they are fine in this matchup. I guess they don't block super well because the opponent has a bunch of flyers. Alright, should we play the fox? I think we play the fox here. We could destroy the astrolabe. It's, I think I'm gonna go ahead and, I should have played Battlefield Forge, because I'm gonna go ahead and spark spray this one. Triple astrolabe, I didn't shred sails an astrolabe, huh? I'm gonna pump my fox. I lose value off the lightning rift, but whatever. It's kind of an example of a game where the opponent is cantripping and we're cantripping, but we're more proactive because we have Fox and Rift that benefits all our cantrips, even though our cantrips are infinitely worse than like Ponder and Astrolabe. We get paid off for doing it, and they're not really getting paid off. They're kind of just spinning their wheels. This is part of the strength of the cycling deck. Did they shuffle? They didn't shuffle, but they also missed a land drop. Interesting. Alright, well, I'm going to cycle once and just leave up shredded sails. I mean, I guess I could draw something that would change my mind, but I don't think there's anything I would draw. It does, this way we do miss a damage off the fox. Alright, dispatches the fox. We could do is, we could destroy an astrolabe to save the fox. It's kind of like... It's like we're 1-for-1ing either way, but we save our fox. Alright, now they are flipping their erayos. This explains why they kept their thing on top. Hopefully we can win without casting any more spells. Honestly, I guess I just lose now? Possibly. See if they... I don't know, maybe I was supposed to cycle the 1 mana thing. I don't think it matters that much because I feel the opponent's pain. We've all been there. Our deck did its thing, but the Fox and the Lightning Rift were too strong. Alright, they found the 4th astrolabe. That means their dispatches are back online. Alright, we'll take out the core Skyfisher here. It's a lot of Lightning Rifts. I guess we could resolve a second Rift through the erayo if we have literal nothing else going on. Alright, they can have a dispatch now. Alright, looks like they don't have it. Well, yeah. That's how it goes against cycling. I'll see you guys for round 3. Welcome to round 3. Stands pretty close. We could keep it. We have 2 looks at a land drop. I think I'm gonna keep it. Actually, 3 looks. So worth pointing out that this is in this hand. This is not worse than a colorless cycling. Alright, Volatile Fjord. Which one of these cards do I want to get rid of against Volatile Fjord? Probably Gopher Blood. Actually, probably, no, I don't know. I don't actually know. Alright, that's a brick on a land. That's a land, because we're very skilled at Magic the Gathering. I'm actually going to play out, this could just die to a burn spell, but I'm still going to play it out. I guess this runs the risk that if they're a deck with counter spells, my Lightning Rift gets countered, but I think I'm kind of okay with that. Chain Lightning's it. Okay. I mean, that's not what I wanted to happen, but that's what happened. Alright, I think we're running out the Lightning Rift now. Fox. I think we still go Rift. Pass. I wonder what they are. Frostwalk Bastion is an interesting one. I was thinking maybe they could be swans. Swans doesn't usually play Frostwalk Bastion though. I'd like to hit a land drop at some point here. Should I do this, or should I keep trying to hit lands? I guess I'll shoot him for 2. Could be wrong. Alright, well, never punished. I'm actually going to play out the Fox here. It might just die, but that's fine. Lapsus the Fox. Memory Lapse is a uniquely terrible counter against this deck. Now, we could just die this game to a Swans combo. Definitely a thing that could happen. So you can't actually kill a Swan. I wonder if there should be Oust in the sideboard for that. Alright, I guess I'll run the Fox back out there. See what they do. Alright, we'll cycle Dryneth Healer. Likely it'll land, so I think I'm actually not going to pay for the Rift this time. Alright, no land. Sad. Sprite Dragon. Sprite Dragon number 2. Do you have a cantrip to go with it? Sorry, there's a siren going by outside, it appears. Interesting. We could just like... Alright, I'm gonna cycle this, shoot one of these guys. See what they do here. The fact that they can't take this Fox off the table is probably pretty bad for them. I'm going to cast this. They have a spell, they have a spell. I feel like if they had a spell, they would have cast it. Green mana. Oh boy. Alright, they've seen enough. Maybe they just flooded out a bit. Alright, Sprite Dragon deck. Shredded Sails could be alright. Let's kind of kill Sprite Dragon. I'm kind of tempted to just not sideboard though. Deafening Silence against Sprite Dragon? It's probably not good enough. I'm going to run it back. Alright, I'm gonna go ahead and keep this. I think I'm probably gonna play out the Dryneth Stinger here with this hand because I don't have any payoffs. feel like I haven't cast the Dryness Stinger yet, so maybe and I've been winning. So because I feel like people cast this card a lot against me, and it is annoying. But maybe they're just playing wrong, and this card should hardly ever be cast. I think there are matchups where you want to cast it, or draws where you want to cast it, but when it goes Forest Astrolabe. We'll cycle the Secluded Step here. Second Stinger. I guess Stinger does just kind of die to something. I think I'm gonna, I'm gonna pass, and I'm gonna, because they're representing open mana. Like, I'd rather make them waste the mana on their turn rather than get to Memory Lapse the Stinger here. Also, if they play Spark Dragon, I can hold up Spark Spray, assuming they don't have a spell, which is pretty nice. Can't really Spark Spray that one. Luckily it doesn't trigger on cycle though. Let's cycle one Stinger, I think. Forgotten Cave. Kind of want to play this Forgotten Cave and then Zenith Flare the... I guess I'd kind of rather play Secluded Step. And pass. Try to Zenith Flare the Mana Gorger here. What is Mana Gorger but a Flourishing Fox that costs 3 mana? I guess it does trigger off your opponent's spells, so that's the thing. Trigon Predator. Okey-doke. Alright, I'm gonna cycle Forgotten Cave. I think I'm gonna give up the Dryness Stinger at this point. Maybe not. Let's cycle this one too. There's a Lightning Rift. We're gonna Zenith Flare the Mana Gorger Hydra. Problem is, I'm lagging a bit here. I don't know why. Sprite Dragon. Problem is the Trigon Predator is going to just eat the Lightning Rift. So I want to play, so what I want to do is, maybe I'll play out Dryness Stinger as like a bait spell. See if they Memory Lapse this. Because I want them to do that so that, yeah, that's what I thought. So I wanted to do that in response. Alright, you're going to Memory Lapse that one. Should I play the Dryneth Healer? Or just cycle it? I guess I'll play it. I don't know. Could be like a tempo game. Question is, do I have enough mana? I guess I don't have enough mana to, Your deck's sweet. I like it. Just temur stuff. It's pretty cool. It's like a legacy deck. Playing Sprite Dragons and Sylvan Libraries. Alright, so the problem is if I deploy the Rift, it's just going to get eaten. Unless I hit an untapped land. It's kind of risky. I could just play the Rift, the Step, and then it also has Flare the Predator. I think I'm going to cycle this to start, see what happens. I guess I should probably, yeah, whatever. Gotten Cave. I'll cycle that one too. I could have played out Draenus Stinger potentially. Alright, there's the untapped land. I think I'm going to hold up Zenith Flare. See how low they tap. They could have a Mana Leak or something. Maybe they'll pay a bunch of life to their Sylvan Library. Pay 8 life and then just die. Alright, they're thinking about it. Now the question is, do I end step this Zenith Flare here? Shooting Mandrills. I think I will Zenith Flare them here. They're holding a Mana Leak or something. It's not great for me if they are, but cool. I don't know if there's a way to play around it. Alright, that's what I wanted to see. So now I'm gonna kill the Trigon Predator to start. And pass the turn. Alright, now my engine is online. Alright, that one I'm fine with. They chose not to shuffle up the Ponder. Does this kill, where did that card go? Decisive Denial, what does this do? Alright, it's a fight spell. I was gonna say, this isn't like a Naturalize or something. Do I want the Fox is the question. I probably don't want the Fox anymore. I guess I could play it now, right? Yeah, I guess it's kind of free-ish to cast it. They might counter it, but... they might have the fight spell here. Plax Manta. Oh, that's pretty sick. Okay, fair enough. You got me. Alright. We'll save that one. We could use it to eat the Plax Manta in combat. That's pretty good. Take 6 here. It's a bit of a pasting. Have another delve spell here. Yep. I mean, that's not great for us, but like, it's also just means we have to cycle one more thing. Like, it's better than having another Plax Manta, I guess. So that would ruin our whole turn. Alright, yeah, Stinger is good. I could be getting that as well. I guess because they still have the Sylvan Library on board. Like, I guess it's pretty risky for them to try to draw extra cards because we could just like rip a Zenith Flare. Speak of the devil. But if your extra card is like a Memory Lapse or a Mana, I guess Mana Leak doesn't do it anymore. So maybe it is kind of rough for them. Do we have any non-cycling cards in the graveyard? One Zenith Flare, so it's... Oh, I guess it says on the card, huh? On the dummy. Or this deck is made for dummies who don't want to look in their graveyard. I guess if we draw one cycling card, we rep lethal. Because we get to ping them in for 2 and then it's another card in the graveyard. Okay, so we can do this. We could do this at instant speed. I kind of like. I mean, I guess there's some. What could we draw? Another Lightning Rift? I don't think that does much. I don't really want to play around another Plax Manta. In fact, I kind of want them to tap low and play out a Plax Manta. Yeah, it's almost like that. That's a Ponder. Alright, we'll fire this off and 2 to the Plax Manta, 2 to you. So now we have lethal. But there's no real reason to spew into a counter spell here. Lightning Rift just totally grinds people out. It's actually just disgusting. Alright, we'll wait till their upkeep and then we'll go for the... I guess I'll just play this one now. See what they do. Alright, they just seen enough. Alright, see you guys for round 4. Welcome to round 4. We're playing against the one and only Baker T99. I guess he's one of 2 Baker Ts, so maybe not the one and only. Sense looks like keepable hand to me. Boom roll, go. Got it. What's the utility of Spark Spray in this matchup is the question. Probably, if they're on Sprite Dragon, it could be good, but I guess I can just be safe and cycle Go for Blood. It's probably fine. I'm just going to pass. Next turn I'm going to play Valiant Rescuer plus Cycle. Plus Hold Up Cycle. I'm probably going to Spark Spray that one, just because I can. To preserve my life total. Or Shaker can run out. So do I cycle Forgotten Cave or do I add Stinger here? They choose to shuffle. Go Draenith Healer. I'm gonna cycle the Healer. They're representing like a counter spell, I guess. Do I want double white is the question. I think so. I'm gonna play out Draenith Stinger. See what they do here. That's fine. Cycle the Footfall Crater with white mana and cycle the Forgotten Cave with red next turn. I guess we're going to draw the Stinger, so we can cycle that one if we want to. Flamewake Phoenix post combat, you got it. I'll cycle the Stinger now. Still no white mana. Let's cycle Forgotten Cave. There's a white mana. I have 7 in the yard. I'll throw away a soldier here. It's fine. I'll pass. I've seen enough. Flamewake Phoenix. What's the card I want against Flamewake Phoenix? Is this the card I want against Flamewake Phoenix? This is Flamewake Phoenix and Earthshaker Kenra. I think I'm just going to run it back though. interesting. I'm gonna keep this one. Secluded step go on the draw is a little bit sad, but is what it is sometimes. I wonder why the art is different. Because I think some of the Modern Horizons versions of this have the old art, and I guess some of them they commission new art. Might have to do with something like maybe Heather Hudson doesn't work with WotC anymore, something like that. We'll play the OG art though. I don't know who Heather Hudson is. I was just reading the artist down there. All right. Fox may die. Yep. Alright, presumably they don't have an Earthshaker can right here. I guess I can Spark Spray that one as well. Do I even want to? I guess I do. They show me Flailblade Phoenix, and this card also means they probably have Elder Deep Fiend in their deck. So we'll give them something not to emerge. They threw away a Tormod Script. There's a Lightning Rift. Jam that one. We'll pass. Alright, we'll start by cycling a Football Crater. And then we'll cycle an Chroma's Blessing. Valiant Rescuer, huh? I think I will cast him. It might get countered, but that's one less counter for our Zenith Flares. And it also puts the cycling card in the graveyard all the same. I guess I was probably supposed to hold that, but alright, that's fine. Yep. So Izzet Charm is worth knowing about because it can spell pierce, so it's like a spell pierce we can play around. Like that could be a card that, yeah, I mean it's a card we can, you know, you should, if you can play around a card you should, if you can afford to do it. If it's a card you would reasonably think they might have, and this was not a card that was on my radar, but it makes sense. And so okay, well, we'll be back for the final round. Welcome to the 5th and final round. Playing against Chili Wrangler. And let's see if they can Dream Crush us. I mean, usually, you know, you like to get the trophy, but in this case I might be rooting for our opponent. Let's see if they can be the hero that PD needs. This hand, I think I'm going to keep it just because the mana situation's pretty good. It doesn't have a payoff, but you know. Alright, Lava Claw reaches. The Zenith Flare. Which of these lands do I want to cycle? I probably want to cycle the Go for Blood, so I'm not going to cycle a land yet. So Lightning Rift. I'll probably play that against black-red mana. I'm going to play Secluded Step and pass. We'll rift away this Phoenix this turn cycle probably. Not sure why I cycled the Secluded Step. I guess I already played one, so if I want to play another land, I can play Forgotten Cave. Probably should have cycled something random though. Just in case I brick on lands for a little bit, which is unlikely. I have so many 1-mana cyclers now, it seems pretty unlikely that I'll brick on lands. It's a Glory Bringer. Yep. Okay. I'm just gonna take it. I'm not gonna. Alright, that's fine. We'll hold the cyclers. Another rift, that's pretty good. Second Glory Bringer. Yep. These are gonna die to the lightning rifts, but they do get in for damage. So that's definitely not bad for them. I mean, 4-mana deal 4 to your opponent, or 5-mana deal 4 to your opponent isn't exciting, but if my plan is to just sit back behind lightning rifts, could get there. Fox. I could make Fox a 3/3. They probably have removal spells in their hand because I've been holding them. I could make it bigger than a 3/3, but that doesn't seem very good to me. Alright, we'll cycle Spark Spray. I guess I could also play Fox, hold up a Chroma's Blessing at some point. It's probably kind of good. I'll just pass. Hold up a Rift activation for the Lava Claw Reachers if they fire those up. It's a thing they could do. I mean, that is good. They get to take one of my Zenith Flares here. That's pretty good too. It's a 3/3, huh? Alright. That's down to 7. It's pretty good. 6. Okay. It's kind of annoying that they have this card in their deck because we might lose our other Zenith Flare as well. Astrolabe, sure. There's some consideration to play out the Draenith Healer and try to gain life back in the racing situation. But I think it's probably just better to cycle it. Okay. The Kenra is kind of scary because they can just flash it back. I guess it's still only 4 toughness though, so maybe it's not actually that scary. Right, so if they have a discard spell here, it's a little sad. 8. Can we just kill them here? I think we can just kill them. This is the 9th card, and this will deal 9. I mean, this will put them to 9. Don't gain 1 life. Alright. I'm gonna not sideboard again. These mid-range decks are just so unfavored against what we're doing. It's kind of ridiculous. I'm going to keep this hand, try to cheese them with a quick fox into rescuer. They do have removal, so this is actually, they're going to have an axis of interaction here because they probably have creature removal in their deck. So it's good that, so this is kind of funny, right? So they play that, and now we've totally switched our axis of attack to creatures, and they have a Nihil Spellbomb. Of course, the game can play in such a way that they kill the fox, and then the game drags on, and we, you know. I don't think I'm going to play the rescuer yet. I think I might actually I am going to play the rescuer. So I kind of don't want to cycle this on this board against this deck. Okay, I'm going to take it. They could, I don't think they can realistically win the race. That's a good draw. I will play a fox. We'll cycle a secluded step. I'm going to cycle a football critter on their turn to get another 1/1. It's 1 less damage this turn, but in the long run, it's an extra 1/1. Alright, they've just seen enough. I think they were pretty doomed. Alright, so I'll see you guys for the wrap-up. So the wrap-up with Are We the Baddies? What did we learn? Are we the baddies? I think the answer is unequivocally yes. We are the baddies. We butcher mid-range decks, which everyone loves playing in leagues. We aggro decks with X2s get wrecked by Lightning Rift. We have many angles of attack. Yeah, the deck is just really strong. It is weak against combo, which we didn't face. We beat a Seance deck, we beat a loxobots deck, we beat a temur midrange deck, we beat a izzet midrange deck, and we beat a rakdos midrange deck. these two decks managed to take games off us. Actually, this matchup felt pretty close. We leaned pretty heavily. This is a matchup where we actually had a sideboard. Like our Pyroclasm plus Tormod's Crypt Plan was actually really strong, and I think we would have lost without it in this matchup. These last three matches did not feel particularly close. I wouldn't really make any changes. I don't know how I feel about Mana Tithe. Maybe it's good in combo matchups, which are a weakness of this deck, but I doubt it is. I don't think Mana Tithe is needed. I don't think it's bad to play it, but I got Mana Tithe twice the other day when I was playing as aggroslide, and I beat them anyway. So what do we want to do if we wanted? So let's talk about something a little different. How would we want to beat this deck? I mean, so far we didn't learn that because we just won. We went 5-0. I'm not sure what the answer is. I think that linear combo decks are good against this. I think there are some decks that can go over the top of what this deck is doing, like big mana decks, but those currently lack the payoff to do it properly. Something like Tooth and Nail, I think, has potential to, because it doesn't really care about Lightning Rift. But Tooth and Nail is significantly weaker this season because you don't have Expedition Map. And just Stirring's can assemble Cloud Post, but it's there's no Explore either, so the deck's just slower. So I'm not a huge fan of Tooth and Nail this season, but I think that's like an option. What I've been playing, so I was recently playing an Esper Allies deck, which I don't think is very good, but it does. I have beaten aggroslide twice, pretty convincingly, and the reason is because all my creatures die to Lightning Rift, and then I rally or return them back, and that wins the game. So that's like kind of the same vein of like it's not. This is kind of a fair-ish deck, but it's doing something that can go way over the top of what the aggroslide deck is doing. Just as an example, on paper, I'm sure. The aggroslide deck can just bring in Tormod's Crypts and then I die, but so there may be some pilot disparance here. Anything I would change in the deck? Not really. I never cast a Chroma's Blessing, but it also was never bad. It can in theory be used to protect your stuff from damage-based sweepers or push through blockers. I think it's fine. Yeah. I guess if you want to farm people in leagues or tournaments, you should play this deck. Till next time, everyone.